welcome to another episode of Real Estate Real. welcome to another episode of Real Estate Real Life, Real Talk, Real Live with the real secrets of money with your host, myself, Damon Brockenberry. I thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate you all. Today is Friday, September the 19th, 2025. When you all see me look this way, it's because I'm looking at my audience, my TikTok. So just want you all to know that. But I thank you for joining me as always. Please follow me on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, Snapchat, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I greatly appreciate you all. And as always, I want to hop into the wonderful world of real estate. Today's topic is hitting a home run. And just like in the baseball, hitting a home run still applies in real estate. But there are certain methods and techniques that you have to apply in order to score in real estate. The problem is in real estate, there's so many people these days who, they watch TV, HGTV, they go on Zillow, they go on Redfin, and they feel like because they have, been on these platforms for a very long time that their expertise in the wonderful world of real estate. And in some cases, you have people who used to at one point in time used to hold a real estate license. So they like to give advice based off what they've learned when they held a license. But just like with software updates applying to your phone, the information and knowledge change and it's updated frequently and also in real estate. So a lot of times when people are not, if they're not currently in the field, they don't have the latest updates when it pertains to a lot of things. So when it pertains to hitting a home run, and I'm going to talk about it from the perspective of a buyer and the perspective of a seller. Now, first of all, you must understand this. This is the common law in hitting a home run. You must understand the market. The problem is too many people, both buyers and sellers, do not understand the real estate market. For example, some sellers feel like, oh, I want to sell my house for X amount of dollars, blah, blah, blah. They feel like their neighbor sold their house whenever they sold it 2-3 years ago. They feel like their house is better than their neighbor's house. So they think that their house is going to sell for more. And it will, depending on the market we're in. That's what a lot of people don't take into consideration, even with buyers. Buyers want to go out here. Like I said, they look at HGTV. They made offers in the past. They figure that everything's going to apply the same, but nothing stays the same. And a lot of times they're outdated as far as their offering methods. So I really want to tell people that in order to hit a home run when it pertains to real estate, you must first know the market. If you don't know the market, guess what? You're going to just, get rejected a lot of times. And the reason being is the market dictates everything. A lot of people like to say, oh, I did this, I did that. No, the market dictated, because even when it pertains to sellers selling their house, sellers, your house is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay for it and what it appraises for. Okay, those are the two most things that's going to determine the value of your home. You can say your house is worth $1 million+ because it's in such and such zip code, but if you don't have a buyer to buy it, your house is worthless. That's just the God honest truth. And buyers, when it pertains to negotiation, you can't just go in there and flat out a house just came on the market today, and I'm just going to offer them this low buy offer and think they're going to accept it. And then when they don't accept it, you're wondering why, because you saw, oh, it might have been listed with a previous agent before and stuff. That has nothing to do with the market. The problem is too many people fail to study the market, and then they wonder why they failed at either getting the house or selling the house. So in order to hit a home run in real estate, first study the market. Number two, you have to make sure that you have a reputable real estate professional such as myself who have experience and expertise and the knowledge of real estate. Because here's the thing, so many times people end up getting people that they know, cousins, friends, and everything. And there's no problem with doing that because we all started somewhere. But real estate is a very big investment and everything. And it costs the homeowners and the buyers thousands of dollars, and in some cases, millions of dollars and everything. You can't play with millions of dollars with just anyone. You can't do that because sometimes what you fail to realize is those people will cost you thousands of dollars if you don't pick the right person. So you have to understand, having the right person, it's like having the right connection and being around the top 5 people that in your crew. They always say you are an accumulation of the 5 people that you hang with. Show someone your top 4 or 5 people and they can show you. And it's the same thing when it pertains to real estate. You have to be with a reputable real estate professional in order to get the job done. Otherwise, you may not. And I just say you may not, because in some cases you will, and you may not get the results that you are looking for. That's why when the market shifts, you know what I'm saying? When the market is hot, everybody and their mother wants to get a real estate license because it's easy for everyone. Because all you have to do is be licensed to get clients. But when the market shifts back down and it's not as easy, you see a lot of those people fade off the wayside. Why is that? The reason is they didn't get the necessary skills to do the things. You know what I'm saying? When it was easy, they jumped into it. Now that it's no longer easy, they don't want to be bothered with it. And that's how people act in life too. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's projects, relationships, any type of jobs that they get. When things are easy, people gravitate to it. When it requires a little bit of know-how, knowledge, and work, people want to back away from it. Okay. So what I'm just saying to you is these are some of the things that you need in order to hit a home run in real estate. Please take those things into consideration because those are very crucial. And it's the reason why a lot of houses are sitting on the market right now. And a lot of buyers are out there making offers and their offers are not even getting accepted because they don't understand that there are certain formulas that are involved when it pertains to the wonderful world of real estate. So I will be back with my Q&A and House of the Week. Okay, I'm gonna go to my House of the Week right now. Then I'm gonna go into my Q&A. All right, everyone. I want you all to take a look at this house. This house is in Montgomery County right now. This is a house that I think many people will love. If you're like a single family house with a private road and a private pool, this house right here will be something that will be quite interesting to you. Now, I want you all to take a look at this because a lot of times I want people to be comfortable as far as the houses that they look at, because a lot of times people tend to look at houses that are not within their affordability. So I just want you to know, like I said, this property is in Montgomery County. It is priced close to $1 million. It is the house of the week. Gourmet kitchen for those who like to cook. Sunroom, powder room, laundry room, owner's suite with 2 walk-in closets, owner's suite with a sitting room, has a separate vanity. This is another bedroom, another bedroom, another bedroom. This property does have 4+ bedrooms, 3.5 bath. This is the hallway. This is the lower level for entertaining, especially people who like to have company. Have your bar. You can entertain during football games. This is the backyard with a fireplace and the pool. Gazebo. And here's the pool for those who like to have pool parties. Hopefully, if you have a pool party, people actually get in the pool because a lot of pool parties, people tend to sit around. Have a separate basketball court as well. And you have plenty of space when it pertains to your grass area. Again, like I said, this property is in Montgomery County. If you have an interest and would like a personal private tour, reach out to me. All right. Reach out to me. So we're going to go to our Q&A. But let me see what the first question is. And again, if you all have any questions when it pertains to real estate, please feel free to send them to me, because a lot of times the questions that you may have, other people have the same question. But sometimes people just don't ask the question. And please understand that no question is a dumb or stupid question, because there are a lot of terminology that a lot of people will not know unless you're in this field. You may hear it, but you may not have a complete understanding. I'm here to make it easier for you and to make sure that you clearly understand when it pertains to the wonderful world of real estate, because I know and I understand that people are dealing with a lot when it pertains to things. So a person like me making it simpler for you, it's easier for you when it pertains to you making the decision that you need to make, whether or not it is buying or selling real estate in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. Okay. So the first question of today is, has the interest rate gone down yet? People still stuck on that question. Has the interest rate gone down yet? Here's the thing. The interest rate has not really adjusted that much, if at all, but the price of houses have gone up. So while you are particularly waiting on the interest rate to go down, the price of houses have gone up. And here's a fact. In the past year, in the past 3 years, because we're in 2025, let's go back to 2022. There's been on an average that the houses have increased between 7 to 8% in this area. Let's just do 7% because that's simple. Okay. 7% increase 1 year, 14% increase 2 year, 21% increase in 3 years. So while you're waiting for the interest rate to go down 3% or 4% or even 5%, the cost of houses have gone up more than 7%. So when you look at the math and when it pertains to your mortgage, whatever your mortgage payment will be, your mortgage payment will be higher now because you waited and the cost of houses have gone up. See, the rule of thumb is you buy real estate and then you wait. It's not that you wait and then you buy real estate. That is a big mistake, because if you wait and then buy real estate, you're going to make a big mistake, because the cost of houses goes up at a higher percentage rate than interest rate go down. So please keep that into consideration. The interest rate is very important, but the price of the house is more important, because let's think about this. If you could buy a house for $100,000 and you had a 10% interest rate, would you rather buy a house at 100%, 100,000, 10% interest rate, or buy a $500,000 house at a 5% interest rate? Which one will you think you'll be paying less on? So I just say that to say is, don't just pay attention to one thing. You have to pay attention to everything when it pertains to real estate. The interest rate hasn't gone down that much, but the cost of homes have gone up way more. All right. One more question. The next question is, will the housing market crash anytime soon? Will the housing market crash anytime soon? Now, none of us are a predictor of the future. Okay. So I can't say if it will or will not. I can only say this, that history has shown that depending on how the economy goes, depends on how the housing market goes. Meaning, if the economy goes into a recession, then the housing market tends to do crash and fall. And the reason is people can't afford to buy homes. So if they don't have a job, they can't afford to buy a home, let alone afford to stay wherever they're staying. So that question really coincides with the economy. What I would suggest is, see how the economy is doing, and then that can be answered more. Because here's the thing. In certain areas, because we're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and we know that a lot of people in this area rely heavily on the government jobs, metro, things of that nature, and private sectors. So what I say is that a lot of people have lost their jobs, unfortunately. So it has affected people selling and buying. A lot of people tend to want to sell their home because they lost their job. But what they fail to realize is a lot of people who would normally buy their home have also lost their job. So that's part of the reason why some houses are sitting on the market longer. So will the housing market crash anytime soon? I can't say because I'm not a predictor of the future when it pertains to the economy because the economy coincides with the housing market. So I can just tell you this, there are still people out there buying houses. I can tell you that much. So will it crash? I don't know, but I don't know what your goal is, what you're trying to do. You're trying to buy something real cheap because here's another thing too. Even if the market crashes, prices only going to go down so much. They're not going to drop to the point to next to nothing. You have $1 million homes that go into foreclosures, just so you understand. So if a house is sold for $1 million and it goes into foreclosure, guess what? That foreclosed house that sold for $1 million at one point in time is not like 200,000 now. It was $1 million. So guess what? It's going to sell for maybe 700,000, 800,000 still, and that price point is still out of some people's range. Some people have this belief that if the housing market crashes, that prices are just going to skyrocket, drop down to next to nothing, and that is not going to be the case. I'm just telling you right now. History has shown and proven that's not the case. So, but again, everybody has their methods and reasons for asking certain things. So, I thank you all for all of your questions, and I'm going to be back with my topic of the day. Now, before I go into my topic of the day, I just want to say that please follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Threads, Snapchat, TikTok, and YouTube, and Pinterest. I'm on all of them. So please follow me on all of them. You can type in my name, Damon Brockenberry. I should pop up on all of them and let me know. And then also, I just want to say to anyone who's looking to get into real estate or the financial insurance industry, please reach out to me. We are hiring. We are hiring for real estate professionals, and we are hiring for insurance professionals as well too. So reach out to me. I can give you more information and details on both if you're interested in either. So right now, I want to talk about childhood dreams versus adult realities. Now, here's the thing. When we were all a kid, we have this imagination of what we wanted to do when we became an adult. We had these thoughts and dreams. Many people, like guys, wanted to be a professional athlete, an actor. Some people want to be a firefighter, a police officer, things of that nature. A lot of women, probably had dreams of being a princess, getting married, having children, having a great career, living happily ever after with their family, and just traveling the world. Many people have these dreams when we are kids, and then reality hits a lot of people. Unfortunately, people do get married and go through divorce. Unfortunately, people have grown kids that sometimes the grown kids don't even leave home, or they grow up to be not like what their parents expected them to be, or in some cases, they even become disrespectful. Sometimes people get jobs that they don't like, they can't stand, they hate Monday mornings because they know they have to go into work. And then when they go to work, they have a coworker that they don't even like. So I say all this to say that in the world that we live in, when we had childhood dreams, but we're living in adult reality, it's okay to dream again. Sometimes we have to push the reset button on our life because sometimes we haven't gone as planned, that we have hoped. We have gotten detoured and distracted by life because life is life with everyone, and unexpected turns, unexpected things. We've been in heartaches, headaches. We've been in jobs, we've been fired, we've been, everything's happened to nearly everyone because no one is perfect and no one is immune out here. No matter how good your life is, no matter how great you have everything, if everything's been perfect for you, you're one of the few people who are absolutely lucky and blessed. But for the majority of people out here, life be lifing. And life has been lifing for a long time, going all the way back before you graduated from high school. And I say all that to say is, I realize there's some things that we need to do as adults. We need to, first of all, hit the reset button. And what I mean by that, meaning we have to change our mindset. See, a lot of times our mindset have been conformed of everything that we've been through. It's been conformed by your families. It's been conformed by your friends. It's been conformed by your jobs. But we have to hit the reset button and go back to when we was a child again, when we had these childhood dreams, when we had these childhood memories. And we need to write these things down. Hit the reset button, change our mindset, write these things down. We need to make a shift in order to achieve what we had in our heads a long time ago. Many times we think about the things that we haven't accomplished in our life, and sometimes people may think they're too old. You're never too old. Warren Buffett didn't become a millionaire till he was 54, I think it was 53, 54. He was over 50 is my point. And then what I'm saying also is a lot of times we think we can't do things and stuff. But here's the thing. You don't know how long you're going to live. You can live until tomorrow, or you can live another 30 plus years. There are people living at 90 something, 100 something years old. So right now, why not? Because if you deduct 30 plus years off your life right now, how old would you be? Some people will be in their early 20s. Some people will be teenagers. The point that I'm making is this. We all have the power to make our childhood dreams an adult reality. The problem is we sit in our adult realities and think about the childhood dreams when we have the power and control to shift and change our whole life. So until we make that decision and say enough is enough, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, yes, you will be stuck in mediocrity, and yes, you will be doing the same thing now that you was doing last year and that you was doing 5 years ago. But what about you changing your mindset? What if in the next 2 to 5 years you can have a dramatic change? Sometimes they say it only takes one great year of you doing something that changed the rest of your life. The problem is so many people are stuck where they are, like they're traumatized a long time ago, and they're stuck in that place. They haven't grown. They haven't matured. This is why you see people who are whatever age, 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, but their conversation is that of a teenager because they're still living in the past. They're still going back to there, whether they realize it or not. So, like I said, we had to hit the reset button, change our mindset, write it down, because if you can conceive it and you can believe it, you can achieve it. See, whatever thoughts that we have in our head was placed in our heads for a reason, whether it's the thought of you going on a trip, on a nice vacation, whether it's the thought of you having that nice home, whether it's the thought of you having a nice wedding, whether it's the thought of your family coming together and everything. It can be achieved. Unfortunately, it all goes back again to our mindset, because sometimes people will cut off their nose to spite their face. They will shoot themselves down when no one else have shot them down, all because of their limited belief. And your limited belief can really hinder you more than anyone or anything. If you whatever you think it is, or you think it's not, it is or it's not. It all starts with you. If you think something's not good, it'll never be good. If you think something is good, no matter how bad it is, it will eventually be good. It's all about what you say and what you think. Life and tongue is in the power. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And a lot of times what we say comes to pass, whether we realize it or not, whether it's in time. It doesn't always happen right away, but in time. So whatever you believe or you don't believe is directly related to you. Because I'm not saying everything that you think will happen, but you have the thoughts that can make it possible, is what I'm saying. And what I'm also saying is when we were a child, we have these childhood dreams. Like I said, whether it was to play professional sports, whether it was to have this lavish lifestyle, whether it was to have this romantic relationship. And then when things didn't go the way we planned, we stopped having these thoughts and we just start living in our adult reality. So here's the reality for you as an adult. Change your mind, change your thoughts, you change your world. If you don't change your thoughts, you don't change your mind, you're not going to change your world. So don't mope and pout and complain to other people about what's going on with you, because you are the author and CEO of your life. We all are. So when you reflect on your childhood dreams, remember your adult realities are because of what you allow to distract you. You can change anything in your life at any time. And that's what I have to say. I'll be back with a recap. All right. Before I give you this recap, I want to say please follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, and YouTube. I thank you all for joining me as always. So the recap is this. When it pertains to hitting a home run in the real estate market, please understand that the market dictates everything. You have to fully understand the market to understand how it's going to go. And if you don't fully understand it, then don't be disappointed when it doesn't go the way that you had hoped for or planned. And also connect with a real estate professional like myself or reach out to me, Damon Brockenberry. You can send me a message or you can call me at 240-694-6460, or you can visit my website, damontheagent.com, which is also damonsalesdmv.com. And my recap is about childhood dreams versus adult reality. Listen, right now, many people are living in adult reality, and whether it's a dream or not, when we were younger, we all had dreams of how we wanted our adult lives to be. Many of us are not living that dream, and it's not because it can't happen. It's because we just stopped moving forward with our plans a long time ago, because life has happened to all of us. But here's the good news. The good news is you can change your life today. All you have to do is change your mindset, hit the reset button, write it down, and work on your plan. Because when you plan to fail, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And you failed at your childhood dreams because you stopped dreaming a long time ago. Don't let your reality keep you from your dreams if your dreams have not become a reality. I want to thank you all again for joining me. This has been Damon J. Brockenberry, the extraordinary CEO of DTAs and Associates. I'll see you next Friday, same time, same place. You all have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.